Labib's graduation party at the University of Portland. Graduation ceremony, yes.
I don't think it
কোথায়? লাবিব তো প্রথম থেকেই আছে দেখি। Somebody seated here? Okay, thank you.
Anthem. For the class of 2019, please be seated. Hello, my name is Samantha Stark. I am Sunset's senior class president. I would like to welcome you to Sunset High School's commencement ceremony for the class of 2019. I would like to begin by thanking Mr. Hall and Sunset's band for the music they provided before and during the processional. I would also like to thank Mr. Rust and Sunset's Advanced Vocal Ensemble, the Madrigals, who sang our national anthem. I would like to introduce our guests for tonight's ceremony. Joining me on the stage are Don Grotting, Superintendent, Dr. Carl Mead, Deputy Superintendent, Eric Simpson, School Board Member, John Helskamp, Sunset Principal, Megan Gusky, Student Body President, Julia Lowe, a Sunset Salutatorian, and Ashish Ramtel, an avid graduate. At this time, I would like to present to you John Helskamp, our principal.
Superintendent Don Grotting, School Board Member Eric Simpson, Deputy Superintendent Dr. Carl Mead, faculty and staff, parents and family members, distinguished guests, and most importantly, the graduates of the class of 2019. Good evening and welcome. We gather here this evening to celebrate a group of young people who have worked very hard and reached an important milestone in their lives. Before we do that, however, I would like to acknowledge and celebrate the individuals most responsible for our students' success. At this time, we would like all parents, guardians, and grandparents to please rise. Graduates, please join me in giving them a round of applause. Your students' presence here tonight is a testimony to 18 years worth of hard work, love, and dedication. There's another group of individuals here tonight who also had a little something to do with our graduate success. The faculty and staff at Sunset High School are an amazing group of educators who care a great deal about our students. Over the past 4 years, they have both challenged and supported our graduates, at times a very comfortable seat and a pretty amazing view. However, last year, I attended my wife's graduation from the University of Portland's master's program here in this very arena. And at that ceremony, it taught me a very important lesson that will forever impact how I view graduation ceremonies. The lesson was taught to me by an incredibly hard bleacher seat. Since section 19, row 21, seat 17, to be specific. If I didn't know better, I would swear that that was some sort of torture device. Because after 2.5 hours, I was so sore, I could barely stand, let alone walk. As a show of solidarity and empathy, I've taped a $5 Starbucks gift card under that very bleacher. So please, go ahead, reach under now. It's there. The lesson that seat taught me, be concise. No one wants to sit here for 2.5 hours, especially not in those incredibly uncomfortable bleachers, listening to the principal drone on and on and on. So graduates, here we are. You're about to go from being Sunset students to Sunset alums. I would like to remind you of some advice that I gave you almost 4 years ago. For most of you, it was your first day at Sunset High School. It was a day not unlike today. It was very hot. I understand the hallway corridors here were about 100 degrees. I think our gym at that time was about 105. So it should ring very familiar to you. And at that time, your link crew leaders had just been introduced. And as I welcomed you, I mentioned that you were starting on a journey that would last the rest of your life. You were becoming Apollos, And to truly be an Apollo had nothing to do with how much money you were going to make, but it had everything to do with how much of a difference you were going to make. And that someday, you would join the ranks of nearly 25,000 Apollo alums. Well, graduates, today is that day. It is time to go from learning about the world to making a difference in the world. Over the course of the next few days, weeks, and months, a lot of people are going to ask you, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? Or what career are you going to pursue? But I would like to ask you a much more important question. What type of person are you going to become? To be honest, I care far less about your ambitions. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be an engineer. I'm going to start my own business. No, I care far more, and I care a great deal about your aspirations. I'm going to make the world a better place. I'm going to listen genuinely to people. I'm going to be a good and true friend. That is what we mean when we say the difference you will make. That is what we mean when we say being an Apollo. As you leave Sunset, I want to challenge all of you to aspire to do great things. Make a positive difference in someone else's life and the world around you. Thank you.
Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall, no one would hear?
Well, let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. And when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand.
And someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home.
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun stream, so reach up and you rise again. Lift your head off the ground. There's a place we don't want to go. And I'm time that you call on.
Someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home.
Someone will come running to take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're walking on the ground, you will be found. When the sun keeps shining, you reach up and you rise again. You only look around, you will be found. You are not alone. 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 You are not alone.
Even when the dark is crashing through, when you need someone to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground.
You will be found.
force struck back. I could no longer hit the hurdle and run. During practice, I fell. During my meet against Westview, I fell. During the Metro League districts, I fell. I was scared. I was running varsity, and those darn shin splints didn't make it easy. Those of you who have run with shin splints know what I'm talking about. Get over the pain, I tell myself, as I lined up on the track, waiting for the starter gun to fire. But no amount of pep talk seemed to help. During the last stretch of the 300-meter hurdles, I fell, flat on my face, multiple times. Before I continue with this speech, I'd like to welcome administration, school board members, Sunset High School faculty and staff, friends, family, and most importantly, the class of 2019. I am Assis Ramtel, a representative.
Complained about homework when we had none. We complained about tests that we probably didn't need to study for. But we were finally part of something. We were finally able to stand in the stands at the football games, even if it was in the last row, covered in silly string and baby powder. We had more freedom at school than ever before. We got to go to homecoming, Bally, and watch as our community gathered in support of Natalie Trawler. That year, I had just moved to Portland from out of state and was terrified of what I was getting myself into. I was entering into a new school with new people in a new state, and my mom chose the school I would be going to, Sunset High School. I didn't know the trends, what people wore, or even how people talked. I made the soccer team my freshman year, and I knew this would be the best place to make my first friends. Have you ever been to a new place with no familiar faces? It's easy to say that you're going to talk and meet new people, but when everyone around you already has friends, it seems nearly impossible. But that is the difference between Sunset and other high schools. People may have their friend groups, but they are willing to open up and welcome you in. For example, on the first day of practice, one girl asked me, "Where are you from?" This small question may seem just a formality, but it allowed me to open up to the people on my team. Sunset instills the idea in kids that they should be welcoming to the people around them. Today, I am still best friends with the girl who asked me that question, and thinking back, I'm so grateful she did. Now let's move to sophomore year. Finally, we weren't considered the youngest anymore. We knew the lay of the land and even moved to the other side of the cafeteria. Our maturity levels had magically raised over the summer, and we now considered Sunset our second home. We watched as our community gathered in support of one of our own, Sam Day. During this year, our class became stronger from all of these experiences. Junior year was a collective struggle for all of us, jumping into loads of IB classes and homework that really mattered, combined with tests that you actually had to study for. There were mock interviews, studying for standardized testing, and hoping that could only get better. We got to attend our first prom all together and even be considered as upperclassmen. Finally, no second looks were given when we stood towards the front of the stands. And finally, senior year, our last year, filled with first semester jitters as we began to fill out college apps. Second semester, as we began to see where everyone would be going next year, whether it be work, school, or anything else. Sunset has been able to provide defining moments throughout our high school career. Whether that has been getting asked to a dance, watching an assembly, cheering for the football team in their first home playoff game in years, performing in a play, watching a classmate sing the national anthem, doing a presentation in front of a class of 40 people, running for office, feeling comfortable enough to raise your hand in class, or even something as simple as meeting the people around you. The point is, I want to thank you all. Thank you for welcoming me into this strong community. Thank you, teachers and staff, for supporting my academic endeavors. Thank you for planning events that promote inclusivity. And to my class,
Thank you for providing a safe environment for me to go to every single day. Thank you for watching out for each other's backs. And most of all, thank you for giving me some of the best 4 years of my life. Through the ups and the downs, I will always be proud to be an Apollo, and I hope you feel that way too. Thank you.
I've always wondered where I'm meant to go. I've always wondered who I'm meant to be. Is the person I am the one I'll be tomorrow? Is that person really me?
What do you want to be when you grow up? It's a question we're all familiar with. From reunions to family dinners to small talk with strangers on the max, one way or another, we've all been in that place. What do I want to be? Our responses continue to evolve as we did. The third grade version of myself was sure that my future would mirror Hannah Montana's, with secret stardom in a hidden shoe closet. From a teenage pop star to a veterinarian to an artist to a firefighter, during elementary school, we considered nearly every career under the sun. But in being asked that question so many times over the past 12 years, we gradually came to think that we needed to have it all figured out. Just one particular job, one particular passion, and one particular future. When the college application process came around, I feel like we all found ourselves leaving the intended major or future plan sections for the very end. What do I want your talents and your curiosities into just one thing? And through a lot of tears, gallons of cookies and cream ice cream, and DIY bangs, I came to realize that you don't have to. Throughout our past 12 years together, we knew what to expect. We had a daily, weekly, and yearly routine and became used to it. But class of 2019, when we walk out of those doors in a few minutes, we'll have total control. Control of what we do tomorrow, the next day, and each day for the rest of our lives. People keep on telling me that a chapter of our lives is closing, and that today is the beginning of a new one. What's so captivating is that this next chapter is different. It's blank. Every day from now on will bring something new, something different. We have the freedom to fill in our own stories, to author our own novels, not follow the ones already written. We have the freedom to be anything and to do everything. So Sunset, stop considering what you want to be. Instead, I challenge you to ask yourself, who am I going to be today? The beauty of a blank chapter is that tomorrow we could be that veterinarian or that pop star, or be more courageous or kind or brave or empathetic. It's up to you. And with that, I would like to say thank you, class of 2019, for allowing me the privilege of representing you over these past 3 years. Last April, with some Kardashian jokes and a poem, I asked you to vote for me one last time. So the same way I was elected into this position, I'd like to leave it behind. Friends, classmates, and peers, it's been an honor to know you throughout these past years. We all have a story that needs to be told. Each one of you is valuable, more so than gold. Thank you, Sunset, for staying by my side. It's been a crazy 4 years, one heck of a ride. See you all soon, perhaps 10 years from now. Be proud of your accomplishments, show off, take a bow. Our time has come to spread our wings, to embrace our potential, whatever life brings. Grab a pen, we have some pages to fill, to write our own stories, dreams to fulfill. My friends, it's been an honor, without a doubt. We're the class of 2019, and we're officially out.
Jamie Yu. Tristan Young. Kevin Yuan. Labib Zechariah.
Kali daw.
Maya Zeline. Tamara Zelen. Jennifer Zuniga Paxtor. Spencer Svipanek.